Well, I'm joined now by spokesman for Azerbaijan's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Hikmat Hajiyev. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
First, let me ask you from a personal perspective, as an Azeri yourself, how does this anniversary resonate with you and with people across your country?
It's really a tragic event. It also reminds me back in 1992, I was a schoolboy, 12 and 13 years old, and I went to school and everyone was in tears, including my teachers. And a schoolboy, I asked what happened, and they just tried to explain me as a schoolboy about a tragic event in Khojaly. Therefore, it's a collective memory of Azerbaijani people. And innocent civilians overnight have been killed in a barbaric way, and it wasn't a crime against humanity, it wasn't a war crime, it was also not a genocide. And it was conducted in a direct intervention of the armed force of Armenia, and with the support of 666 division of Soviet armies that time still deployed in Nagorno-Karabakh. Therefore, Azerbaijani people still remembers it. But most importantly, Azerbaijani people with the Khojaly genocide, we are not asking for the revenge. We are just asking for the justice. And Azerbaijan is a multicultural society, and we are proud of our tolerance. But in this process, there wasn't a crime, and crime demands a justice. That's the voice of Azerbaijani people.
So what is this justice you want?
The justice is that, Armenian, current political military leadership of Armenia took a direct part in Khojaly operation. And he commanded personally this operation with an incumbent president of Armenia, including the leaders of the illegal separatist regime that has been established in the occupied territories. And they have directly took part in this operation. And also soldiers and military commanders and some other Armenian paramilitary groups, they knew exactly what it's civilians are living in the city, and 7,000 civilians, and they use heavy artillery and tank forces and some other missiles and attacking the city. And there was an idea to provide a corridor for the civilians. In every military operation, the militaries are thinking about the humanitarian corridor, and there was a humanitarian corridor, but unfortunately they attacked humanitarian corridor and knowing what civilians over there. Therefore, if we apply international humanitarian law, and if we apply international law in general, current state Armenia as a state bears a responsibility for Khojaly operation. And in the meantime, according to customary and monetary rules of the international law, Armenian leadership, individual persons are also bearing responsibility for the crimes against humanity. No one, no official position can cloak the people against the responsibilities of the crimes against humanity. And Azerbaijan seeks such a justice, and it's also expectation of Azerbaijani people from the international community, international tribunal, including United Nations system.
So you have made what you believe is a very clear case for accountability in this massacre. But Karabakh remains one of what many describe as one of the world's frozen conflicts, which indicates it's spent decades now unresolved. When, if ever, will things actually move on this issue?
Really, it's really not exactly frozen, because it's a really Second World War, First World War scenario. We have a trench along the line of contact and soldiers sitting face to face. It's exactly Second World War scenario, and it's a fact of military occupation on the ground. And Armenian armed forces, as an armed force of one sovereign nation, are illegally present in the occupied territories of Azerbaijan, and on a daily basis, the exchange of fire happens. Therefore, it's not a frozen in general, but what Azerbaijan's approach to the resolution of the conflict, it's constructive. It's based on the norms and principles of international law. And respecting territorial integrity of every country, it's a must. And no one can, by use of force, change internationally recognized borders of states. And Azerbaijan's demands is based on the United Nations Security Council resolutions, which demand immediate, unconditional, and full withdrawal of Armenian forces from the occupied territories of Azerbaijan, where we can guarantee return of Azerbaijani IDPs and refugees to their permanent residences, and Armenians and Azerbaijanis can coexist and live together in Nagorno-Karabakh region of Azerbaijan. And we do believe that that's an only viable solution of the conflict.
Right. Then why hasn't it happened?
And unfortunately, Armenia still pursues the policy of annexation of occupied territories of Azerbaijan. And it's based on fact of occupation. By use of force, Armenia occupied these territories. Under the guise of as if Armenian community of Nagorno-Karabakh, they are claiming for self-determination. It's not a self-determination, because by use of force and by killing civilians and also conducting notorious ethnic cleansing against 1 million Azerbaijanis in the occupied territories, that includes Nagorno-Karabakh and also 7 adjacent regions out of the Nagorno-Karabakh, no one can claim self-determination. But Azerbaijan's constructive approach is that Armenian and Azerbaijani communities can exercise their right of self-determination within the boundaries of Azerbaijan and based on the laws of Azerbaijan and within the territorial integrity of Azerbaijan. And there will be permanent peace between Armenian and Azerbaijan, and most importantly, Armenian people can benefit from the prospects of the peace as a result of the resolution of the conflict.
Okay, Hikmat Hajiyev, thank you so much
Thank you.
for speaking to us.